Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest forecast on this Wednesday. Yesterday we had high seasonal again in the mid to upper 60s, but we're warming up starting today. But we are halfway through the month of April, so let's recap the month so far. Average high 65.2, which is actually a little bit warmer by 0.2 degrees compared to normal, but cooler than what we had last year for the first half of the month. Factoring in the lows, we are slightly below average though, with the coldest temperature being 26, the warmest being 88. We'll be there tomorrow, by the way. And then as far as precipitation, with only 2 days of the month giving us rain, a little over a half inch, we are a little bit more than an inch behind. So we could definitely use the rain. And we're going to have several opportunities over these next couple of weeks as we head into the second half of April. First one being tonight, by the way. Today, though, I think we're dry today. Very, very low probability a brief shower or a thunderstorm develops today. I really don't think it's going to happen. I think it'll be between midnight and sunrise that we'll have our rain chance. Upper 70s and low 80s today. We will still have that mix of sun and clouds, though. And you may have noticed from overnight that it smelled there's a lot of smoke in the air because of the calm wind and the fires that were burning yesterday. But as we go throughout the morning, as the winds start to pick up, that'll scatter out some of the smoke through midday. But we may start to increase that smoke again as we head towards the afternoon hours. So be aware of that as we head into the afternoon evening. We may have the smoky air once again. As far as winds are concerned, winds picking up near 30 to even 35 miles per hour at times, especially for the morning, early afternoon, and then more generally in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range for the afternoon. Continues to stay breezy tonight. At times it may briefly gust 40 to 45 miles per hour tomorrow morning, at least according to this model, but it quickly comes back down closer to 30 to 35. So if it gets that high early tomorrow morning, it will not last. I think we get consistent 30 to 35 miles per hour for tomorrow as well, or maybe even less than that, especially in north central Kansas. As we head into the next couple days, our humidity is going to be increasing, especially tomorrow. Now, it does today too, but we really start to feel the impacts of that, especially after midnight when those storms really start developing and into tomorrow as well. Now, as we head into tomorrow, this is noon tomorrow, we still have those higher dew points. So definitely feeling like summer, especially with how warm it's going to get. And we'll talk about that here in just a second. We do start to usher in a dry line in the afternoon. Now, I don't think that will spark off any storms. I think what we'll have is called a cap, and that will limit how much storms may develop, if anything at all. But if it does, that could mean a few strong to severe storms. As we head into the overnight periods, especially after midnight, we finally get that dry line pushing through, and most spots in the 30s and 40s for dew points by Friday morning. So that should come to an end as far as if any storms are in the area, perhaps, which I don't think there will be. Severe weather will be unlikely. Severe weather is pretty unlikely if the dew point is less than 50 degrees. Now, can you get severe weather? Yes, but all the other gradients have to come together, which I don't think will be there. So we don't have to worry about that. We'll talk about the severe weather risks here in just a second. But temperature-wise, tomorrow, upper 80s and low 90s, as we are going to be monitoring a little bit of cloud cover at times that could keep temperatures a little bit on the cooler side. And then more in the 50s and 60s. I have cooled down temperatures just a little bit for Friday. I do expect mostly cloudy skies, and I expect most of the day to be dry before storms start to develop late in the afternoon and evening hours. So here's a look at our severe weather risks. Overnight tonight, marginal risks, mainly for hail, from midnight to sunrise. A conditional risk in the morning, and then maybe late in the day because of that dry line. But I really think there will be what's called a cap, and that will limit any storm development. And then Friday, late afternoon, evening, we may start to see some storm development, mainly in that area that's highlighted in that marginal risk. So definitely something we'll keep an eye on. Meanwhile, for today, that mix of sun and clouds, areas of clouds for the morning, early afternoon, but more sun towards the afternoon hours. And then we'll have a slight chance of storms before midnight, better chance after midnight, as Supercast is indicating. These are going to be quick movers, so really not going to bring a whole lot of rainfall to the area because of how quick they're going to be moving. And then we will have, this model has that cloud cover in a north-south orientation, or clouds in the eastern half of our viewing area, and then clearing out by the afternoon. I want to show you another computer model, as this cloud cover is more of an east-west orientation, pushing up to the north, giving us clear skies by noon, giving us sunny skies for the rest of the afternoon. So a little bit of an uncertainty as far as cloud cover is concerned for tomorrow. And that could be the reason why our eastern communities, as models are indicating, temperatures are more in the upper 80s rather than low 90s out west. But if clouds clear out fairly quickly during the morning and giving us sunny skies in the afternoon, that many spots may end up being in the low 90s, especially our eastern communities. So definitely something that we'll keep an eye on. Quite a bit cloud cover expected on Friday, and then here comes these storms, mainly after about 9 o'clock. So the early evening hours should be okay, but as we get close to about 9, 10 o'clock, we do start to get these storms moving through the area with some moderate to heavy rain at times. I'm still going with rain for the weekend, but models have backed off. At least one of them has backed off on rainfall, with temperatures closer to 60 and then warm back in the low 70s for the start of next work week. Taking a look at our rainfall for the next 8 days, the GFS has quite a bit less rain compared to the European. And when you factor in the rainfall over the weekend, this is just for the weekend alone, not just the 8 days that previous graphic shows, many spots getting at least a half inch worth of rain and some areas getting more than an inch. But look at the GFS. This is the second model run in a row that I've seen that the models have really backed off on that rain over the weekend, especially on Easter Sunday. But the European and the Canadian model, which I'd never show on here, is still showing decent rainfall on Easter Sunday. So I'm still keeping that as the forecast. But is it possible it ends up being drier? Yes. But let's wait a little bit before we get into that actual official forecast. Again, as I mentioned, we're going to be very active as we head into these next couple of weeks as far as rain chances are concerned. Now, obviously, we're going to have to take the rain chances on a day-by-day basis, but we'll certainly be keeping an eye on all that. The first opportunity, high likelihood that we'll have spotty showers and thunderstorms between midnight and sunrise. Not widespread. There will be a lot of areas that stay dry, but that's when the highest likelihood of showers and thunderstorms move back into the area. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep you updated. Have a great day.